everyone, and welcome to Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for the third round of the 2018.2 South African simGP series. I'm Jason Holden-Jones. I'll be flying solo in the commentary booth this evening as you watch Gabriel Rousseau and flying lap. Looks like his first flying lap of the evening. So we've got this qualifying session underway with just over 12 minutes remaining. And of course, Gabriel Rousseau for Squadron Ghostworks was the fastest of the hot lap division qualifying from Thursday until Sunday evening. That was so comfortably into Division 1. Of course, we've got the Division 2 race on Wednesday evening. Of course, we look forward to this one as well. Rousseau looks to be pretty strong here at Spa and previewing the man to beat so far. And big shout out to everybody watching live on YouTube. Welcome everybody. Rousseau getting it all wrong on exit there and lost quite a bit of time. Let's see what he can produce now on this flying lap. So number 25 entry now, approaching the final two corners. The driver's really battling with this corner throughout the weekend. Another spinning there, so it just shows what I was talking about. Unfortunately, his teammate gets by him. Thankfully, Bashir Jadwat goes provisional pole with a 54.871. Of course, Rousseau after his spin only with a 58. Hanik goes third fast to the 56.236. Olifant, Leslie Olifant for secured RP Mag Cap with the 55.520. It's a bit too far away from Jadwat for what Olifant would like. Jadwat on yet another fly, 2/10 down so far on his best delta. Olifant now looking strong, almost 3/10 quicker. On board with Les Olifants. Driver's allowed to go wide here. White line exception through that corner. Through Purion corner now, turn 12 and then turns 13 and 14. Campus. Approaching another white line exception, and this is here on entry to this corner. Drivers can come in from wide. They must respect the white line on exits. So this is already Frankenstein is half a second up. This won't quite get him provisional pole for now, but he will, I think, unseat Claessens for seconds. Good drive out of that corner now. Olifant goes second with a 54.825, so not even a tenth of a second behind Jadwat. So Olifant looking strong. Of course, Olifant tied in the Drivers' Championship at the top with Gabriel Rousseau, both on 50 points, but we'll have a look at the Drivers' Championship standings a bit later on. So Jadwat's on an outlap. It looks like Claessens now up into third for Synergy Spartan with a 55.171. Oh, half a spin there for Claessens, losing a lot of time that way. So yeah, as I said, the driver's really battling with that corner. And Claessens' teammate now, Matthew Boy, up to fourth with a 55.756. This is Chris Heineck about to start another flying lap as he opens up the DRS flap at the back. And Morris May, now great to see him in Division 1 for Haven Racing. Currently provisional 8th position for Morris May and Haven Racing. Rian Lamprecht now up into third. Or Rebel Ghostworks, so it's Ghostworks 1 and 3 for the moment. Secured RP Madcap in second. Big twitch there for Morris May, hangs on to it nicely though. 4/10 up on his delta is Morris May, and he was quite close enough to give him 7th. And Daniel Haynes has got the 7th for now. Mayer down the back straight through Blanchimont now, turned 17 and now 18, and down towards the famous chicane. Let's see if we can get this corner right, nice and smooth. Gets back on the power, and he will improve by 4/10 of a second to 57.8 a second off Daniel Haynes for 9th position. What's happening at the front now? Rousseau on provisional pole, so Gabriel Rousseau now back on form after his spin early on. Judd Watt is about equal with his best delta, so this hot lap sessions, this qualifying session is starting to really ignite now. Chris Heineke joins the party and joins in 7th position, just behind Boy, just the 10th behind Matthew Boy. So simGP Spa looking strong here, 5th and 6th position for them. Oliphant now desperately trying to take it to the Squadra Ghostworks outfit. Squadra Ghostworks 1 and 2 for the moment. Oliphant using that white line exception to his advantage. Getting a good drive through that last corner down the back straight. And it's going to be all about braking for the chicane if he is to improve now. And Judd Watt improves to 54.428 to go 2/10. That's 2/10 behind Rousseau now. So that gap closing all the time. But Oliphant's not going to improve this time. So he will stay in 3rd for the moment. So well done on his best lap time for now. And Judd Watt now improving. Almost 2/10 of a second for him. This could put him on course to take provisional pole from Gabriel. So let's see what they can do now. Let's go on board with Bashir Judd Watt, the 2018.1 South African simGP Drivers Champion. Great drive there from Judd Watt. Back on the power nicely. Oh, using as much as the curve on the outside as possible. Look at that. Up 2/10 of a second, and losing a bit of time now. It's back on the power, flirting with that white line. It looked acceptable, so it's going to be all about braking for the chicane, of course. As the other drivers around him get out the way, nicely done. It's going to be very close now. Judd Watt, it's going to give him pole position. 54.203, 3 thousandths of a second. And Judd Watt's gone to the front, so sending a message to his teammate Gabriel Rousseau. And Rousseau's just started another flying lap. Let's go on board with Gabriel Rousseau. So what a battle this is. And we've got Leslie Oliphant just 6/10 of a second behind them in 3rd position. So very aggressive. It's the outside curb. So again, using as much as the curb as possible, just like Jadwat did. Rissa just looking for 0.003 of a second to take the fight to Jadwat, and he's improving. Wow, what a drive through that corner. 0.2 of a second now. Now if he just can navigate the chicane, we could give him provisional pole. Just over a minute remaining in the session. Turns it in nicely. Straightens up for the second apex. Oh, a bit wobbly. He's lost his time. It's going to be so close. Rousseau goes fastest. Wow, 0.005 of a second, everyone. What a fight this is. It's been a while since I've seen a fight for pole position like this. And Jadwat now starts another flyer. And this will be Bashir Jadwat's last chance, as Rousseau has also started one, of course. Let's see what Oliphant's doing. He's 0.2 of a second up now. But he needs a good, what is that, 6-7 of a second to go to the front. Oh, he's pushing very hard. He uses much curb and around he goes. But too much pressure there. And Claessens goes third with a 54.668 and seats Oliphant. So let's see what Rousseau's caught in traffic, unfortunately. So Jadwat's in the pits, so best position for Jadwat will be from second. Let's go and have a look at Claessens in the Synergy Spartan car, and Claessens needs 0.4 of a second to he's abandoned the lap. So that's it for Claessens and Synergy Spartan. Lamprecht's in the pit. Boy is starting another lap now. I don't think it's going to be enough to get around before the session comes to an end. So what a fantastic battle for pole position that was. Obviously nothing in it between the two Squadra Ghostworks teammates. And they would have really enjoyed that as we did. And yeah, so it's end of the qualifying session. And it's about 3 minutes before the start of the formation lap to get the race underway. And while we wait, we will take a short break. Don't go away. Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps for the formation lap for the third round on the 2018.2 South African simGP series. And while the drivers do their formation lap, we're going to have a look at the current Drivers' Championship standings. And it is Leslie Oliphant tied for the lead with Gabriel Rousseau. And then we've got Gerrit Crawford, who's not racing tonight, unfortunately, in third position. Quay Claessens in fourth position, and Rian Lamprecht in fifth. Bashir Jadwat in sixth position. Mark Castan in seventh. Mark Hembry in eighth position. Rainer Cab in ninth. Peter Kalnes completed top 10 so far in the championship. And in the team standings, it is Squadra Ghostworks leading the way by just 6 points ahead of Rebel Ghostworks. Phantom Ghostworks in third, so Ghostworks locking out the top 3 so far with 2 rounds done. And Synergy Spartan in fourth position. Secured RP Madcape in fifth. Jason Absma not racing this evening, unfortunately, but Leslie Oliphant, of course, is racing. And then we've got Zooming Extremely Fast Racing, John McKay and Jano Boyson, currently in sixth position. Icor Black Widow and the Kids App RPM Sim Racing team. Ninth position, CWN Racing in 10th. But back to this evening's proceedings, and Rousseau just keeping the field together now during this formation lap. And it's going to be a hard race, I think. 46 laps, and the driver's really struggling with the final chicane. We've seen a lot of spins there, and the driver's very hesitant to get back on the throttle. But let's see how we get on. Rousseau now approaching the speed up point to get this race underway. And, trying to get the jump on teammate Bashir Jadwat, of course, and off we go. So, got 15 cars in this race for Division 1. So we hit into turn 1 now. And Lamprecht very close to Leslie Oliphant. Well, we're going to spin you. Who's that, Myth? It's Mark Hembry's had a spin into the wall. He goes. And boy's got Hanneke for 6th position. So back to the front now. Rousseau's got a good gap back to teammate Jadwat. Claessens in 3rd, of course. Oliphant in 4th. Let's see what happens now. Lamprecht's very close to Oliphant. He pulls up the slipstream, gets that move done. But he's outbraked himself. And through goes Oliphant again. So Lamprecht had to try that. And Lamprecht's fallen down with a spin. Off he goes. A difficult start there for Rian Lamprecht. And Hanneke and Stein together now. Phantom Ghostworks and Rebel Ghostworks in 6th and 7th position. Both run wide as well, perhaps struggling with the cold tyres. So Rousseau starting to move away at the front now. They gap up to almost 9/10 of a second. And Claessens not letting him get away there for Synergy Spartan. And there's the Oliphant there in 4th position, so it looks like a 4-way battle at the front. And they're breaking me off the chicane. Claessens looking good under the brakes there, closes up to Jadwat, putting pressure now on Squadra Ghostworks. And we saw Leslie Oliphant briefly use the DRS, which I think wasn't quite when lap 3 was started. Unfortunately, might get a penalty for that. Let's see if he comes in to serve it. Hopefully not, because it's quite a nice battle shaping up here at the front. And of course the driver is only allowed to use DRS when they are 1 second, within 1 second of the car in front of them. But Claessen's now really starting to pressurize Jadwat. He's on board with Quay Claessen's. Piona, quick left-hander. Let's see in the mirror from Claessen's there. Leslie Oliphant then 4th position. Claessen's within DRS range of Jadwat. Jadwat not close enough to Rousseau though to use the DRS. So Jadwat might be vulnerable up the Camel Straight. Claessen's just to get his braking right here. Oh, looking very strong as Claessen's now. Oh, Leslie Oliphant almost runs into the back of us. He runs wide, off he goes. Class is looking like a good, looking for a good run on it of like La Sauce. Jadwat got a good run out of there. Oliphant into the pits, I think, to serve that penalty for the DRS infringement. Flat out through a Rouge. Oh, and Class had to correct mid-corner. We've got the DRS open at the back. Not close enough this time round. But Jadwat definitely under pressure. Oliphant's got Duggan for 8th position after serving his drive-through penalty. This is the Meyer Pienaar battle for 10th position. Now keep an eye on the Jadwat Claessen's gap. Pienaar in 11th and Daniel Haynes in 12th position for Algo Racing. The Heineke Steyn battle for 5th. Steyn looking to put a move on Heineke, not that time round. Mayer's lost the position to Pienaar. Looks like a spin at the chicane. Haynes and Mayer's fallen right down. Looks like another spin. Fortunately for the Haven Racing car, down to 13th now. Steyn still behind Heineke. Judd Watts opened up that gap back to Claessens. It's up to 1.6 seconds now. Rousseau is the same gap ahead of Judd Watts. Block up by Boy in front of us. Heineke makes an error as well. Staying now right with Heineke. Maybe within DRS range. Looking for a move. To La Source. Big lock up by Heineke again. Won't his tires any good. Heineke gets a great drive. Wow, look. Leaves stand behind. There's Oliphant into the pits again from 9th position. He joins in 12th. Oh, but aggressive on the power there. The rear tyre spinning up, but Steyn does a fantastic job to keep control of it and keeping the car pointing in the right direction. Oh, mistake there by Heineke. Steyn not close enough to take advantage of that, however. Steyn will be thinking, oh, where you can put the move on Heineke. If he gets a good drive out of this corner, he'll be able to put a move. Oh, the dirty air, unsettling the car and forcing Marcus wide. Big shout out to everybody watching on the YouTube live chat room. I'm fresh from the Sim Racing Expo at the Nürburgring. I got back last night, and if you've got any questions for me, I'll be more than willing to answer. What a fantastic experience it was. And Raymond Duggan has fallen down to 13th position. He will join teammate JP Paul at the back, unfortunately for Black Widow. So Black Widow 13th and 14th for the moment as Heineke has put it in the wall. Oh, damage to the Phantom Ghostworks car. So he's off and rejoins in 7th as Lamprecht sneaks by. To 6th position. Pinars also had a spin. Oh, and who else is off? Mark Henbury too. So it's all gone pear-shaped here for Phantom Ghostworks on lap 7 of 46. Oliphant and Pinot in together after Oliphant, I think, had served a second drive-through penalty, it looked like. Or perhaps, oh, we had a spin in the background. Pinot, around he goes. Wow, that was high speed. As Maurice Mayer avoids him. Whoa, another spin again. So easy on the throttle there, Skulk. And he rejoins safely. Oh, behind Mark Henbury. So Pinot will join 15th and last. Oh, off again. So those tyres have really given up. Boy now into the pits. That's an early pit stop for him. Instead of drive-through penalty, let's go and follow Matthew. See if he just drives through. Or is this in fact a pit stop? Now he's serving a pit lane drive-through for a DRS infringement. Boy will rejoin in 7th position. Heineke's car looking very second hand. The nose is all bent out of shape, so it'll be affecting the aerodynamics. Daniel Haynes under pressure from Oliphant. He's gone board with Oliphant. Oliphant is the Drivers' Championship leader, tied with Gabriel Rousseau, of course. And this is not where Oliphant wants to be, in 9th position with championship competitor Rousseau leading this race, 2 seconds ahead of Bashir Jadwat. Haynes desperately defending. And Haynes has got Matthew Boy up front as well for company. Oh, great drive here by Oliphant. Going on the outside, that's brave. Oh, and he keeps within the track limits as well. Incredible move here. And of course, there's the Oliphant, the defending champion, the simGP champion from 2018.1. And he just showed you why he is. Fantastic move as he comes into the pits now. So there's the Oliphant. Is this a scheduled pit stop now? Let's see what happens. Must be another drive-through penalty for Leslie Oliphant. So I think it's his 3rd one of the race so far. So I don't know what's going on there, but that's unfortunately impacted his race. And we're back with our race leader Gabriel Rousseau, leading by 2.5 seconds ahead of teammate Bashir Jadwat. And Jadwat's opened up that gap 2 classes to now 4 seconds. And then Marcus Steyn leads Lamprecht by 0.8 of a second. So these two still pretty close together. Pienaar into the pits now, I think, to repair that damage. We'll drop down to 15th position as Stephen Sparks drives past. Go back to the Steyn Lamprecht battle. Oh, and Lamprecht gets it wrong. He's going to avoid the wall, luckily. But I think that's put an end to his battle with Steyn for 4th position, unfortunately for him. And Heineke's behind, but a good 7 seconds behind. And Bashir Jadwat not exactly letting his teammate get away. That gap's only 2.5 seconds after 10 laps. And I'm assured that there are no team orders at Squadron Ghostworks or Ghostworks as a whole. As Oliphant puts a move on Mayer for 9th position. Boys caught up to Heineke. I think Heineke nursing quite a bit of damage, so Matthew Boy smells blood here in the slipstream. Has to get out of the throttle. Again. Heineke with this half spin. Oh wow, Boy did so well to avoid him. And Heineke goes into the pits, I think to repair their damage and perhaps fuel up to get to the end. Haynes now up into 7th. Cat Snowman asking in the YouTube chat, are these the new or old version of the RSS2 cars? This is the V6 version. No, the V8 version, and the new version, the V6 version, no, we're not using that yet, so this is the older version. And you can tell them apart that the new version, the V6 version, has got the halo. And the V8 doesn't, of course. Paul and Hembry together now. Oh, a challenge from Hembry now. Whoa, Paul darts across and covers any kind of attack from Hembry. So Black Widow against Phantom Ghostworks. And Paul is driving very well in this round. Great to see him in Division 1, improving all the time. Let's see if Hembry can get this move done up the Kemmel Straights. I say up because it's quite a big rise. Here we go, up the hill. Hembry's got the DRS flap wide open. Paul is darting left and right. Here comes Hembry. Hembry's on the limiter though. Oh, under braking work. Can he get it stopped? Turns it in. Oh, he's going to have a spin. He gets it wrong. Oh, and Paul in avoidance. Unfortunately gets collected, and through goes Heineke to pick up 2 positions. So that hasn't worked out for both drivers. And unfortunately Hembry getting it all wrong, and Paul had nowhere to go and got collected in the process. Pino and Sparks together now for 14th. As I say, that Sparks has a half spin, unfortunately. Falls back. The message from the South African Academy Online Racing. Awesome, Jason from the console PS4 format, boys. Well, shout out to everyone there. Thanks for watching. And Rousseau has navigated his first bit of traffic, so is Judd Watt. That's in the form of Scott Pinard, who's currently in 14th position. As Henneberry has got Heineke, they've come. The teammates have come together. So things are going well here for Phantom Ghostworks. Looks like it's happened at the chicane. Both cars recovering. Raymond Duggan's going to split them in the Black Widow car. In the meantime, Quake Claessens is closing up the gap to Judd Watt. That gap's come down from about 4.5 seconds to 3 seconds. Perhaps that to do with that bit of traffic in the form of Scott Pinot, but Claessens successfully navigates Pinot, and now sets his sights on Judd Watt as Scott Pinot gets it wrong again. Around he goes into the wall, unfortunately. And Daniel Haynes under pressure from Leslie Oliphant once again. We saw the fantastic pass by Oliphant around the outside of Haynes 5 laps ago. And Oliphant has to do it all again. It's Algor Racing versus secured RP Mad Cape. Oliphant flies past, not a problem. Oliphant goes to 7th, and he's got Matthew Boy 6 seconds up the road. That's a bit of work to do for Oliphant to do. Quentin Harroff asks, should Henneberry not have waited for Paul there? That's a good question, Quentin. I'll have to have a look at it again to answer your question. Fortunately, I don't have a replay function available to me, otherwise I would do that now live. Judd Watt again starting to move away from Claessens. Oh, aggressive here by Henneberry up the inside. Oh, great move there by Henneberry. And hopefully we'll have a proper replay function in the new Assetto Corsa Competizione. Of course, the early access for that new simulator is out, of course. It's only 150 Rand on Steam. I mean, what a bargain. It's going to be double or triple that before it's actually completed. So now is the great time to get an ACC. I've got it myself. I'm absolutely flabbergasted as to how good it is. And Kunos have really laid out the groundwork for an incredible title. On board Mark Henneberry now. The Phantom Ghostworks entry chasing down the Black Widow entry of Raymond Duggan. And we are fighting over 11th position. And Quinton asked, when is ACC going to be an official platform for SimRace SA? Quinton, I'm not quite sure yet. We're going to have to see when it is ready for multiplayer. And then how we can adapt it to the racing and SimRace in Africa. And for now, it's only GD3 cars confirmed for that simulator. And of course, we like to run a couple of other titles as well. And the formulas as well. Of course, there's this one, the GP series, and of course, we like our GD4 racing. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to work together just yet, but we'll come up with a plan. Let's talk about ACC being completed. I think it's in the first quarter of 2019. And of course, we get our first season of the year away at the start of February normally, so it's going to be quite tight. So we have to see how we get on. But for now, I see a mixture between ACC and AC. I think so. Paul's into the pits now from 13th position. Let's go back to the Henry-Duggan battle, and Duggan's holding his own here. The gap at the front's coming down. Judd Watts within 2 seconds of Rousseau. Embry is so much late on the brakes, but it's cost him. A car off balance. He's lost time to Duggan again. So Raven Duggan driving well this evening. Looks like correction there for Embry mid-corner. Hasn't lost too much time to Duggan. Through P1 we go. Quick left-hander using the aerodynamics. As Duggan makes a mistake there. Here comes Embry closing the gap all the time. Fantastic. This battle is turning out to be. And Oliphant's right with Boy as well. Let's go to that battle. Here we go. Up the Camel Straight we go. Boy goes defensive early on, but it's not going to be enough. And Boy up into 6th position. Sorry, Oliphant up into 6th position. And Oliphant's a good 14 seconds behind Lamprecht in 5th position. Still plenty of time to get then move those Duggins into the pits now. Of course, that releases him, Hennebury, up into 11th position. As the two Squadra Ghostworks cars at the front begin another lap, lap 19 of 46. And Judd Watts closed that gap again, now just 1.6 seconds behind race leader Rousseau. So these two pushing each other very hard. Claessens has fallen back to 6.5 seconds in 3rd. Into the pits now from 8th position. And in comes Maurice May as well for Haven Racing from 9th. Heineke is going to come through to pass them. Heineke's already done a pit stop, of course. Repaired the damage on the car too. Jadwat starting to near that DRS gap towards Rousseau. The gap's coming down all the time. All into the pits now from 13th position. Oh, Jadwat's fallen back. He's lost a good half a second to Rousseau. I'm starting to approach the halfway mark of this race. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of cars dive into the pits shortly. Our race leader start approaching Maurice May to put a lap on him. So May will be receiving some blue flags. Difficult place for May to let Rousseau through, but he does a fantastic job. And, next up for May is Judd Watts, who won't be wanting to make his way past as well. And, May is going to wait for Judd Watts. Oh, slightly unpredictable. So I've put Judd Watts somewhat lost time as Judd Watts and Rousseau. The gap up to 3 seconds now. If May was just on the other side of the track, rather, that would have made things easier for Judd Watts. For Judd Watts. But of course, easy for me to point out. I'm not actually in the car. But didn't go too badly, I thought. Judd would approaches May as well. Through goes Claessens. Lamprecht now into the pits from 5th position. Looking to perhaps get the undercut on the drivers in front of him. Come in a bit earlier, get the fresh tyres on. Fuel it up to get towards the end and get some quick lap times in while the other drivers are still on worn out tyres. And perhaps Lamprecht can make some headway that way. There's a boy up into 6th now. And Lamprecht rejoins in 7th. Steven Sparks currently in 13th position. And Judd Watts gone to the front now. What's happened to Rousseau? Looks like an error at the chicane by Rousseau. So there's a change in the lead. Let's go have a look at Rousseau's car if it's got any damage. No, it looks fine. But now Bashir Jadwal has been presented with an opportunity to win this race at the halfway mark. Will Jadwat come in now to do his pit stop? Or will he stay out longer? What will Rousseau do? What will Claessens do as well? Claessens just 3.5 seconds behind Rousseau. Because we've got Hennenbury into the pits now from 10th position. And Jadwat's going to stay out. Rousseau, another spin! Wow. And Claessens threw up into second. No, Claessens to the pits now. Clarkson's coming in a bit earlier now. See how the stop goes. And he passes him in the pits. Clarkson's will rejoin in third. So Clarkson's and Rousseau were just about together when Clarkson's came in now, so it'll be interesting to see when Rousseau pits what that gap will be. Duggan's got Hennebury for 11th position, so these two having quite a ding-dong battle. Oh, as Duggan's made a mistake, unfortunately. There goes Hennebury, as again, comedy errors between these two. Got someone off. Who is that? That is Maurice Meyer. Boy now into the pits from 7th position. Dagger asking any nipple races in this? No, unfortunately not. No nipple racing entries for the GP series. And as far as I know, they're only doing the GT4 series. Jadwat into the pits now from the lead. What is Rousseau? Rousseau staying out. So, strategic player by Rousseau. Skark Pina unfortunately has retired from the race. He's left the server, first retirement of the evening. Jadwat into the pits now, of course. Changing tyres and filling up, off he goes. There comes Quake. Clarson's in third. Fortunately for Clarson's, is caught up in traffic. I think they're costing time to Jadwat. And of course to Rousseau. And I think Rousseau will be watching this gap to Clarson's, and you'll see that perhaps he's in traffic. We'll start a bit longer. It's Oliphant into the pit lane again. I think this time for a scheduled stop and not a drive-through penalty, hopefully. Stain also into the pits from 4th. What will Rousseau do now? Will he come in? In comes Rousseau. This will be interesting now. Battling away with Clarson's for second. Rousseau looking for a quick stop, of course. There's Jadwat. He's approaching the chicane. Clarson's is right behind him as Clarson's puts a lap on Sparks. Says they're quite a slow in lap. He's hit the wall. Has Rousseau in the pit lane. It's gone terribly wrong. And of course, this says candid. Oh, Clarson's is disconnected from the server. Oh, all sorts of drama here at Spa. Just says Clarson's moved to second. He's left the server. Or is the timing board just going haywire for the moment? Let's see. No, Claessen's has left the server, unfortunately. So has a couple of others, unfortunately. But Jadwat still leads this race. So that's quite an odd thing. The server seems fine, so I'm not sure why there have been a couple of drivers who have disconnected. So line issues for a number of drivers. I see our ping rate is still fine. So something's let go. Power failure perhaps in an area that a couple of the guys are racing from. But all sorts of dramas here. And but it's all going Bashir Jadwat's way now. Into the lead he goes. So we've lost Quay Claessens, who just moved up into second position. And a couple of others as well. No doubt we'll get to find out. Claessens is rejoined now. If he's rejoined the race, he is in the pits, he's in 7th for the moment. Let's see how he gets on. Claessens is readying himself to get back out there. So in second, of course, after that spin in the pit lane. We also lost Raymond Duggan. I see he's trying to get back into the server as well. Heineke into the pits now from 5th. In he comes. This is exactly what Bashir Jadwat needs for his championship hopes. Currently down in 6th position is Jadwat in the championship, and victory will do wonders for himself. Got Duggan has rejoined the server down in 14th. We've got someone with a very second-hand looking car, and that is Raymond Duggan. I think he just joined the server. He's gone from bad to worse for Raymond Duggan. And we'll be looking to bring that car back to the pits as soon as possible. May and Claessen's together now. Claessen looks to recover after what looked to be a line issue. It looked like, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Marcus standing third. Raymond Duggan returns to the circuit after repairs to his rear wing. And while the gaps have opened up quite a bit, I can talk about what I was doing yesterday. And anyway, yesterday I was at the Nürburgring, the actual circuit, and I had a fantastic day at the Sim Racing Expo. For those of you who haven't seen my live stream video on Facebook, I do sort of a walkabout through the expo, checking out all the different stands and what's to offer, and it's absolutely a fantastic experience. And I was there about 2 years ago, but this year was certainly a lot bigger, and just fantastic to see sim racing growing as it is, and so many more companies getting involved and investing in sim racing, and the future is definitely bright. And we had the Grasser Racing Lamborghini team doing sort of a launch for Sede Corsa Competizioni. They did a hot lap challenge in front of everybody live on Friday evening. I wasn't there, but I watched it on Facebook. And yeah, as I got there, I saw Calvin van Linde trying one of the simulators out, and anyway, we got talking, and I had met him for the first time, and absolutely great guy as expected. And yeah, followed him around a bit, and we're talking, and while he was doing interviews and whatnot, and it was a great experience. And then he invited me for a garage tour before his Blancpain GT Series drive. And yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. I got to sit in his Audi R8 GT3 car and attempted to do a driver swap, and it's not as easy as it looks. It's actually pretty complicated to get in and out an Audi R8 GT3 car, as I found out. And yeah, absolutely fantastic experience. Calvin showed me all the different the settings they can do inside the car, on the dashboard with the buttons, and what you can do with the steering wheel, on the steering wheel, and how they adjust the pedals during the driver swap, because obviously each driver is a bit different. And a great experience. And then I got to get onto the grid as well, so I did a bit of a grid walk. And there's a short video of that on Facebook Live as well. And yeah, absolutely great day yesterday, and I came back last night. About now a good 15 seconds ahead of teammate Rousseau. Rousseau had a bit of an issue in the pit lane, unfortunately, spinning, leaving the pits, and that's cost him dearly. So unfortunately we're down to 12 runners this evening. Watching Matthew Boyd for Synergy Spartan is 2.5 seconds behind Chris Heineke in the Phantom Ghostworks. course, we've still got 14 laps remaining, and anything can happen. A spin by Judd Watt could put Rousseau right back with him. Of course, this is the Division 1 race this evening, then we've got Division 2 coming up on Wednesday evening. And I think we're going to have a lot more cars in that race as well. Let's go on board with Bashir Judd Watts. See how he pilots this machine. Oh, and Judd Watt avoids. Who is that? Stephen Sparks recovering from a spin. Judd Watt does a 58.970. Rousseau with a 2.0415. So Judd Watt's got the upper hand on the pace. 33.46. Stephen Sparks making way for Rousseau to put a lap on him. We've got the Ghostworks entries locking up the top 5 positions. Judd Watt and Rousseau, of course, the Squadron Ghostworks staying for Phantom Ghostworks. We've got Rebel Ghostworks and Lundbrecht in 4th, and the Phantom Ghostworks of Heineke in 5th position. Yeah, Daniel, I'm not quite sure what happened there. The service seemed fine, so I'm not quite sure why. I think three drivers had problems. But yeah, there was a very odd one. Sparks into the pits from 11th position. And Heineke is coming under pressure from Matthew Boy. Perhaps this will be a battle to keep an eye on. What's open up the gap? It's reset to 20 seconds now. Just 11 laps remaining now. Paul into the pits now from 10th position. It's a second stop there by Paul. So 2-stop strategy by him. I think he did come in lap 18 as well, so that's in the middle. Paul overshoots there, but he rejoins safely. Heineke has fallen back to 6th position. Boy, of course, up into 5th. Mistake there by Heineke. Overshoots the chicane. Chadwick now starts lap 38 of 46. Chadwick really starting to get on top of this car battle at the start of the season. And through last season, I think, but really starting to get on top of it. His consistency really starting to show now. So got a bit of damage to that front nose of his car, so it'll be affecting the handling somewhat. No doubt got to do with that spin in the pit lane he had. And just falling back 25 seconds behind Judd Watt. The Morris man onto the pits for Heaven Racing. And he's racing. Paul is a good minute and a half behind him. And Mayo rejoining 9th position for him. Back at Spa, unfortunately, Rio Lamprecht has left the server, so he's down for 4th position. Matthew Boy inherits that position. And we just got 3 laps remaining now. And it's been certainly a race of attrition. But Squad Regoso is well on track to take a 1-2 here at Spa. And this will do Judd Watts Drivers' Championship hopes wonders. He's to take the victory. Lamprecht rejoins the server now. He's in 8th position. Judd Watts got a bit of traffic in the form of Chris Heineke. Judd Watts just moving side to side, letting Heineke know that he's there. Is the lap down? Is Chris Heineke? Should have seen that Judd Watts pass now on the straight. Nicely done. Oh, a spin here for Judd Watts. Around he goes. Rousseau's not quite close enough. He's a good over 20 seconds behind him. As Heineke unlaps himself. Sweeps past. So yeah, everyone's just trying to get to the end now of this over 90-minute race. Now it's got a bit longer than expected. But Judd Watts about to start the final lap of this race. Judd Watts only lost about 6 seconds in that dramatic spin. on board with Judd Watt for the very last time. Judd Watt not interested in staying behind Chris Heineke. I'd rather put a lap on him and get ahead. Heineke will move aside now, surely will he? No, he won't. Judd Watt's not sure if you can see him as Stephen Sparks makes way. Very generous of him to do so. To campus we go. Short straight down to turn 15, then turn 16 Stavlo. Heineke is looking to finish ahead of Judd Watt on track anyway. And Heineke's going to outbreak himself. But it is Bashir Judd Watt who will cross the line to take victory here in anticipation of a 1-2 victory for Squadra Ghostworks as Gabriel makes his way towards the line. Some 15 seconds behind Judd Watt. Congratulations to Squadra Ghostworks. Incredible performance by him. Marcus Steyn will get third position to make it a Ghostworks 1, 2, 3 podium lockout. So the team will be absolutely ecstatic about that. So Marcus then completes the podium. We've got Matthew Boy in the 4th position. Heineke will finish in 5th. He's already a lap down, so he's already in the podium. Claessens gets 6th. Hembry 7th. Morris Mayer 8th. Lamprecht will get 9th. It looks like JP Paul 10th. Sparks 11th. And Raymond Duggan completes the field in 12th position. And that's a wrap on round 3 of the 2018.2 South African simGP series. From me, Jason Holden-Jones, thank you very much for watching, and until the Division 2 race of this round on Wednesday evening, all the best until then. Good.